for money talk, we started, this would be for the Calhoun Ranch, because the home ranch, we're not there yet, but we should be. The three of us got a financial advisor that helped us because we knew we really needed help, that we didn't really have, none of us had a banking background. So that helped us decide what to do. And fortunately, we work as a unit, and it was easy for us to come together on that. However, you know, that we all do have different priorities with the money, I would say. And you still just have to talk it out.
Yeah, because it's funny because the three of us come from very different backgrounds and have very different philosophies, maybe, so to speak. And so you've got to listen. You've got to compromise. Yes. Everybody has to compromise at something. But I'd say for us, fortunately, our parents were very frugal and very wise. We wondered why our father was always visiting a half a dozen banks, and oh my gosh, just going through all of that was like, oh my goodness. But he left it in a place to where without the money they left us, it would have been very difficult to move forward. So we were very, very fortunate. But on to the home ranch, let's, as far as the home ranch goes, financially speaking, they had created an LLC early on. And so we would get, our parents would get monthly statements. They would get meeting agenda minutes. And we started to get a little concerned when the little cabin we lived in, they wanted to kind of tear it down and spend a lot of money, or at least get a loan to put a new building there. And since we would be inheriting in the future, it kind of raised red flags for us. And so that was one of the reasons we stepped in to get involved. But unfortunately, it was pretty tumultuous. There was a lot of yelling and screaming. Fortunately, I usually am the loud one, but I didn't yell and scream at any meetings. But eventually I was asked to not attend anymore, which was really sad and disconcerting for me, that I could no longer attend these meetings with our parents who were in their 80s. And it's like, this is just wrong. You know, what business do you have coming to these meetings? And so I started, and our parents weren't the most organized. So they didn't, okay, here's my binders. This is what I've collected over the last 10 to 12 years, because you have to be organized. So I started collecting meeting agenda minutes. I started collecting the financials so that we knew what the heck is going on. And so it was a pretty steep learning curve trying to gather everything together, understand, you know, how the ranch was being managed. And I come from a background with lots of budgeting, so that kind of came easy to me, crunching the numbers. But it's pretty complex. And now that we're trying to divide, the ranch is 1,600 acres, and we're trying to divide it, and it might not be sustainable divided. And that's what we're coming to find out. We're having to go over numbers, readjusting, trying to figure out how can this smaller portion of the ranch be sustainable. And it's not looking real good, unfortunately. And so the finances are really important.